Hey, we're back now.
Yeah, we're back.
Mr. Vinny, we're back now.
Julian.
Now, you got the feeling your dad said, who I've spoken to many times since, I love your dad, I love your whole family, I love your brother Luke, he's a beauty, your brother.
Skippy started this Hollywood career. Can you believe that? Man, I find that mind-blowing, that some jumping rat would start off a major Hollywood career.
Well, there you go.
Julian Maroun, big movie star, good-looking bloke. Who started it for you? Skippy. Hey? The flying helicopter guy.
Let's hear what happened then. Where you go, Jul?
Well, I mean, I think Dad had mentioned at this climactic moment where I was saying to him, Dad, we're like, whatever we can do, let's find a way in. And he responded with Skippy. And so I'm like, okay, I understand, Dad. What does that mean? And he very excitedly, as he often does and would, get that smile where he's like, I've got an idea. Next thing you know, we come to the Tropicana Cafe, and this would have been around 2011.
Wow.
And
You would have seen him sitting on one of those boxes, right?
Well, I came in here and I was shocked because I was like, who's this cool guy with the glasses and like a cool outfit and about 50 people kind of loitering around the table, and he's going between conversations and different, like there's a coffee here and there's all this stuff going on, and I thought, no, surely that can't be for us.
No.
So we sit down and I get introduced to the famous Tony Bonner, and it's so interesting because the jawline. I'm sorry, but it was a dead set giveaway, and I was like, I know exactly who this man is. I know who this man is.
The whole of the world knows who he is.
Well, that's yeah. And I was like, okay, is this what we're actually here for? And I remember we had this wonderful conversation about the constraints of the industry, of especially at that time, being a man of Middle Eastern descent, there wasn't necessarily a great potential trajectory there, and it was definitely something that even for a lot of Greeks and Italians and Europeans even, it was very much like, it's Australia, we don't really have the space for it, but like maybe we could just talk about it and you could come down. And I remember we ended the conversation on, I might be able to do, a one-on-one session with Tony. And I remember feeling so proud and excited in the car because I was like, well, okay, like this might be the way in.
Look at this bloke, he's so proud. He's like a brand new father.
Yeah, well,
look at the pride coming out of this guy.
It is.
Look, I'm so proud of my son here.
It was a victory. It was like a way in, and we would go on to have quite a few times where we would just. There was nothing complex about it. It was just reading through kind of scenes and working through things and just trying to figure out what it is that you're doing. What is the craft actually, without all of the confusing aspects. And that would lead to us playing it at home on the big screen, one of our scenes. And I remember Mum just started crying, and I thought, Mum, was I that bad? And in reality, I think in that moment she said, I don't know, I felt something seeing you on the screen, and I felt like this might actually be a viable option. So the story kind of begins there, where we find at least the chance to work.
So did your father know Tony?
Yeah, and I'm not even sure how, but he had such a respect for you, and I know you guys had
I think it was through a Lebanese close and dear friend of mine, Rick Mitri.
Aha.
I think it was through the Mitris.
Right.
Who doesn't know the Mitris?
Yeah, I think that's where the connection was.
That's fascinating because that circles back to the correspondent, because as you know, Rick was involved in the actual Peter Gressler story.
Correct.
Wow, the degrees of separation is fascinating.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so that's how we actually had something to show. And then here's where it gets interesting again. Doris Unane
Yes.
who I didn't know much about the Australian industry at that point because, you know, we didn't watch our own stuff, unfortunately. But she was coming back for like one little trip where she wanted to do a masterclass in Western Sydney, of all places.
Yep.
At the time, I'm working at Parramatta Westfield, so like it's you know, so too good to be true. And we find out that like she's going to do this masterclass, and I send her some of the stuff that we'd done.
Yep.
And I just remember her and I met for coffee, and from there it was like, okay, so not only do we maybe now have a shot at the craft, but she thought, hey, there's some actual potential here. Let's do some master classes. Let's do a few classes with people, you know, around the community, and started in a little community hall in Parramatta. And yeah, that would be the catalyst that eventually brought Peter Andrukaitis in, the director who had, you know, just come off doing Underbelly and, you know, some of those
director,
big,
Peter.
Yeah, and he cast me straight in something. So that's kind of what began the working trajectory.
Well, there you go, Vinny. Young fellow, listen to me, Vinny.
Yeah. I mean, look, I can't argue with what he's saying.
But good. We're going to come back in a minute. Another break. Jack wants to order you another bowl of that 3,000 calorie food. We'll be right back, folks.